What's going on, everybody? Anon here, and everybody starts with a "What's going on, everybody?" I don't get it. Maybe it's just a fucking YouTube thing. I was actually thinking about it the other day. I was like, wow, I start all my videos off with that shit too. But whatever, it doesn't matter. So, guys, I just thought today I would put out this video to kind of talk to you and address a certain topic that's kind of been on my mind for the past few days. Watching great YouTubers such as, my homies in the Gaming Illuminati and a good friend of mine named DXFan619. And specifically, I'll be highlighting the videos that Ethos and DX usually do, and they usually take on the more so critical analysis of games and gaming. I was thinking to myself the other day, because I was really just like reminiscing on all the old games that I used to play, Kingdom Hearts, the Mass Effects, everything like that, before I feel like the gaming industry got plagued with greed and corporate corruption. And I mean, there's always been, that level of monetization with any sort of big business when it comes to entertainment. It doesn't matter what it is. That's why, there's this formula that will make you get in the top 40 if you make pop music, you know what I'm saying? Because that's commercial. It's essentially fast food. And I feel like the gaming industry is in the same sort of era right now where everybody's being fast fed, sequels and remakes and remasters and just the same old. And while this isn't a video about being force fed the same thing over and over again, I also feel like I have to bring that up to get to my next topic. See, we're being force-fed the same thing over and over again, which, like I said, statistics show there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with a new Battlefield sequel or anything like that. But, and I'm super excited for Mass Effect Andromeda. But when it comes to things like this, not only are we being force-fed the same thing, but we are being force-fed unfinished versions and highly taxed versions of the same thing. Now, I remember when I played The Last of Us on my PlayStation 3. The first time I played it, I was like, wow, this game is fucking incredible. While certain other people don't necessarily share my same, views on it, that's neither here nor there. I just thought, wow, this is a really, really good, fun game. And I remember when I played it, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It was finished. I don't remember. I believe that there was microtransactions in it, but it worked. But I can't give it a pass because it does have microtransactions in it. And that is a $60 game. And it got remastered less than a year later for PS4, because on console there's no backwards compatibility. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like we as gamers aren't demanding the quality that we should be coming to expect. When I played a game back in the day, before there was any of this, online patches or day one patch or day one DLC or any of this bullshit, you got the game. And if the game was broken, that was it. Your game was fucked. You didn't fucking sell. Nobody bought that shit because it was like, you couldn't try to push having a game-breaking bug on your shit. Like, no one would stand for that. Like, you would get fucking, you'd get fucking wrecked, kid. Like, and I feel like now developers are at this point where their publishers are like, hey, we need this out ASAP. So just give it to them unfinished and then patch it. Like, and that's fucking wrong. And we end up waiting so much extra time for these trash games. Like, I'm sorry, to me, The Division is not good at all. Because The Division, people say about it what you want, but I am a purist when it comes to gaming, and if you promise me something, I want what I was promised, at least if it was a game I was hyped over, because everybody knows that I love me some Rainbow Six Siege, and Siege looks nothing like how it did, but Siege is still fun, and I wasn't really hyped over it. But The Division built up this huge hype train and like made it seem like it was something it wasn't, and it was just so disappointing when I waited for so long, and after all these delays, I didn't even buy it. I was like, after I played the beta, I was like, there's no way I'm getting this game. it's just so simplified, and people aren't demanding better. You know, you've got kids who are just running out and screaming at their parents, I want this one, I want that. They don't care about the detriment that it's doing to the industry. And I just personally think it's something we need to address. Games are not being finished. Games are coming out and they're $60, and then they want to nickel and dime you for every little fucking thing. It doesn't make sense to me. If I pay top dollar, and $60 is not cheap. You know, you work a minimum wage for a whole fucking day, maybe, to get $60, maybe. Not even. And you're telling me that your game isn't even finished? Like, how are we accepting this? How are people like IGN and GameSpot giving these games, you know, such high scores when they're not finished? And you have content being cut out and marketed to you as DLC. Like, day one DLC should not be a thing, because that tells me that you cut content from your game and you're just giving it to someone who goes and pre-orders or does X, Y, or Z. Your game should come out finished, and then the expansions should come out later. That's why I'm going to give The Witcher 3 my hard-earned money for its expansion. I bought The Witcher 3, I'll buy the expansion. The game came out. Yes, that game didn't necessarily live up to every single thing that it was talking about either. And, you know, on the graphical side, it did have a downgrade. But here's the thing. While I am a graphics whore, at the same time, if you are able to more than overcompensate in other areas, I am more than willing to forgive, you know, a mishap in graphical fidelity. The Witcher 3 has an incredibly deep, lore-filled open world and, like, great gameplay to me. So, it's so disheartening to think about, like, how much you used to get as a child and, like, what you get now. And everybody knows it, but everybody still picks up these AAA titles. Listen, if you want gaming to change, vote with your wallet. I don't pick up anything I don't support. And my friends have been playing The Division and were playing The Division, and I didn't buy it. I didn't. Because I didn't believe in spending my money. And to be honest, they didn't buy it either. Most of them received review copies or, you know, got keys. So, just a little bit of food for thought. Yeah. And, if you like this video, I don't care what the fuck you do. You can subscribe or like or hate. You know what? Actually, hit the hate button. Hit the fucking hate button. Do that shit. Yeah, hyper driving quiet, think it's time to take a leap of faith. Walking contradiction, only stopping just to sleep away.